This is why we walking away. We walking away because we can't have our way. Things have changed. Women are stronger now. They're smarter now. They're more efficient, more proficient. They're able to get their own now. You can't do these women like you used to. You can't run game on the women like you used to. Black women especially tired of it. They're willing to without you. They're willing to alone. But most of them are not willing to not have those kids before leaving this world. So they're going to come get those kids and they know y'all suckers are going to give it up. So what are you going to do in return? What you going to get in return? Y'all go crazy when y'all see some shaking.
We do this for that.
Y'all got to be able to see behind that. But you got to position yourself so you can have that leverage. And if every man I talk to, I always ask them, if you look at yourself in the mirror, can you honestly say to yourself, like you're where you want to be at to be able to get the results you want to get?
What's your plan when men start walking away from marriage? What's your plan?
So, do men or women get a raw deal from marriage? Because you just said men walking away from marriage. So, is he culpable for doing that?
What is your plan when men walk away from marriage?
Is he responsible for walking away from a marriage?
Topic. What is
or
your
is
plan?
he just never guilty of anything?
My point is the very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation. You just tell them they're not doing enough.
Got me. You got me. Yep.
So I don't know who needs to hear this, but as a woman, I want to give you a word of advice. Don't date black men. Black men are the worst. They're disrespectful. They don't care about women. All they do is cheat, lie, and steal. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm a mother of 3 and I have 3 different baby daddies. I also have had 20 bodies in the last month. But I'm letting you know now with the type of woman that I am, like the high value woman that I am, I bring a lot to the table. You know, obviously, who doesn't want a woman with kids? Who doesn't want a woman, you know, that's been used up and ran through? But I do highly recommend to stop talking to black men because they're not going to help you. They're not going to bend over backwards for you. They're not going to do anything for you. You know, they should take care of women with kids. They should use their hard-earned money on us, but guess what? They don't. You know why? Because they're sassy. They're sassy. All they do is they want to do each other because they're sassy. That's all they are. And I'm telling you right now, if you knew what they do behind closed doors with their homeboys, you'd be afraid of them too. I'm telling you now, you ask them for money, they won't give it to you. Last time I asked a man for $60K, I had to dump him because he couldn't provide that. And you know what I need in this world? A provider. And do you know what else I need? A man who's gonna what? Stand up for himself and do things for his queen. Right, ladies? Clock it, ladies. If he's not making $1 million within a couple of minutes, what is the point of dealing with him? And if this man is not going to stop following girls and liking their pictures, then why be with him? Oh, don't forget, I also post bikini pictures. I also bust it wide on social media and do twerking videos, but I do have God quotes in my bio. Yes, God quotes are in my bio because the Lord is within me, and we all know the Lord doesn't judge. So of course, my OF link is in my bio. Go ahead and check it out. It's called creamybuttons.com. Go ahead, that's the link. You guys will see it. But before I even get further into this, please keep God in your life and understand that these men are not good for you, especially black men, because they're the ones who are going to use you. That's all they do is use women, and they don't appreciate you. And when you actually, you know, tell a man what you need and what you want, he can't provide. So don't even waste your time, ladies. You know how stupid that sounds? That's exactly how the you sound when you come on this platform talking about black men need to pay for me, black men needed this. Get a damn job. You know what's crazy? You guys can get BBLs, dentures, and stupid Easter basket wigs that look up, but you can't buy yourself your own. You guys don't even know how to cook food from scratch. You don't even bake no more. You'd rather sell your butthole online than make a meal. If you can't make cookies from scratch, if you can't make food from scratch, if you can't make mac and cheese, stop asking a man to provide for you. You're not even a godly or a traditional woman. Cállate, yeah.
Women are doing at home between $150,000 to $250,000 a year in domestic labor.
So you're saying women are doing $150,000 to $200,000 of unpaid labor?
Yes.
Have you thought about the unpaid labor that men do around the house? Construction, landscaping, plumber,
Yes.
electrician, pest control, security guard, IT support, chauffeur, mechanic, babysitter, etc.
That is such a fantastic point. Do you own a firearm?
No.
Would you date a guy who owns a firearm?
Yes.
Okay.
I have
You dated?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's interesting because you're saying, well, for you to have a full-time armed security guard, which is what women have, that's really expensive. Women basically have executive protection for free. That's unpaid labor. In fact, can I ask you a question? Husbands should be willing to protecting you.
Yes.
Take the bullet.
Yeah.
Would you do the reverse for him?
No.
If we're talking about unpaid labor, if I wanted to hire 24/7 security, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
When men are like, single women today only want men for their bank accounts and their good looks. I'm like, what bank accounts? What good looks? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, what is this mirage that you're feeding to me? Like, find me a man who's like nice and funny and smart and hot and rich. Like, find me that man. I mean, they do exist. They're men. What you're explaining to me is a man. Maybe he is a straight man and exists somewhere and he's probably married to some beautiful girl, and I love that for both of them, but that's not you. Usually the person that's saying that is neither hot nor rich. It just kills me. I love it. Single women only want hot rich men. I'm like, where are they? You're ugly. What are you talking about? It's crazy.
What are you bringing to guys that you can make these demands of them, right? She's basically saying these guys don't exist, right? There's no nice, funny, hot, rich, smart. Well, that's a lot to have all in one. A. Secondly, if you're going to be that picky, you better be, I don't know, are you like Cinderella or something?
It says 90%, and you could talk about facts, but I'm going to give you stats, Willie. 90% of black men were never married. 90% of black men were never married. 90% of black men were never married. 30% of black women will never be married and have to marry outside their race if they want to get married in general.
36% of black men are married as opposed to black women's 29%. That may not sound high, but what matters is the direction. Back in 2017 to 2021, black men's marriage rates was around 34%, and black women's was closer to 28%. Black men's marriage rate has grown about 0.8 percentage points per year. If that same steady pace continues, no miracles, no manipulation, black men will reach roughly 40% married by 2027. That's not an exaggerated claim. It's a statistical projection based on real data.
And the suicide rate is the highest in black men.
And the suicide rate is the highest in black men.
In every data set, white men, and in some cases, Native and indigenous men have the highest self-deletion rates by far. Black men do not rank number one in self-deletion rate comparison nationally. You have to correct this type of information because this isn't about minimizing self-deletion, guys. It's simply about stopping, the harmful narratives that pathologizes black men as uniquely broken, self-hating, or emotionally collapsing. This type of rhetoric, man, it creates a stigma in the black community that black men are suffering more than everyone else, even when the data says otherwise.
I hate when women get online and tell other women, don't care about these men, act like you don't have any feelings, don't have any emotions, don't show anything. What are you talking about? We are women. We can show that we have feelings. That's not a crime. That's not weakness. We're supposed to be loving, nurturing, feminine. Like, y'all act like it's something wrong with being weak at the knees. How I could be weak at the knees, so what? I'm sad. And I can express that I'm sad. I'm not a man. Y'all really be having pissing contests with men. Oh, we don't care just like the men. I ain't no man, and I don't compete with men. I don't know what happened, the shift, but I don't like it. Sometimes my chest be hurting, my head, my heart is aching, and that's okay for me to express that.
So let me get this straight, y'all. This is now the third person, by the way, broke now, who cares? Third female who has told me that she met a guy and he was telling her how he don't chase women. He like women that show that they want him. But what? What is going on today? The men want to be chosen. The men want to be chased. The men want to be taken out on the dates. I don't know what is going on. And I don't know about you, but I refuse. I would never, ever, ever chase a man. In fact, I have just been told just naturally, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but men like to do the chasing. And so I don't know what's up with these new age pick-me's, but has anybody else experienced this? I've already got 3 of my homegirls telling me this, y'all. What is going on today? This is why I'm telling you, y'all, I would just be single before I do all of this stressful stuff that goes on in the dating world. And I mean, I
think modern women, regardless of who you are, you could have a PhD, master's degree, it really doesn't matter. Modern women are going to say whatever they need to keep this narrative. A lot of times modern women are saying these things to make themselves, they're saying these things to make themselves feel better. You know, they really don't have a lot going on as far as relationships go. Now, you got to give them their kudos. Some of these modern women, they get out there and they be getting the bag, man. They be getting the bag, they be doing it. And you be like, hey man, good for you. But, you know, it seems like when they get to relationships, all of that knowledge, all of that passion, all of that know-how, it flies out the window. All of that, I want to go for it, and anything that I do, I go hard after it, and you know, I make sure I make it successful. Seems like it goes out the window, because these modern women, they be doing anything and everything to make sure their relationships fail. They don't be doing nothing right in relationships.
If your first reaction to hearing men are trash is not all men, not me, you are missing the forest for the trees.
Really? Do explain.
Now, either literally millions of women are lying about their experiences with men for no reason, or it's time to accept that there might be a problem with men.
Well, indeed. There is a problem out there with some men. That is the key word that a lot of individuals like to leave out of this particular conversation, is the word some, because it's so much easier just to generalize everyone than to actually focus on those individuals that are really the problem.
And I know that accepting that there is a problem with men means that if you do care about the state of the world, and if you do care about protecting the women that you say you want to protect, that it might mean you actually have to do something or say something.
And a lot of men, believe it or not, actually do something or say something, but yet they're still just seen as guilty as every other man, because it's all men, right?
Just not being part of the problem doesn't make you part of the solution. So ask yourself, who are you protecting? The brotherhood? What brotherhood are we talking about? Because based on what I'm seeing from all these masculine influencers, they're ready to and eat you at the slightest bit of provocation.
It's almost as if that was an excellent example of the behaviors of some men. Again, they keep leaving out that word.
Men are out here claiming that they want to be protectors of women, but they will not protect women from themselves.
I would almost be willing to bet that someone that I could mention probably considers themselves to be an ardent male feminist. Yet ironically, I'm not seeing how that's the case, because they're not acting in the way in which a true feminist would be. Because feminism, after all, is about equality and equal treatment and fairness. Yet they're tolerating the unfair treatment of an entire population of people, men, based on the actions of some of those members of that group. Not very feminist-minded, is it?
One of the smallest things that I have noticed that irritates me regarding men.
And what are we complaining about today about men, just for the sake of complaining?
Is the way that men will call each other brother at any given chance, but you will never hear them calling a woman sister.
Some women are just nitpicking now.
And I believe that this is so frustrating.
Only for those that are jealous.
The brotherhood of being a man is so alive and well. This idea of protecting each other, caring for each other, finding friendship in each other, even with strangers. They just have to mildly smile at each other and they'll be like, hey brother, how you doing?
So, what's wrong with that?
I have never heard a man say anything that welcoming to a woman.
Of course. For some, it always comes back to, how can I feel slighted today?
Women are seen as inherent objects. Thus, such terms would not go hand in hand, for obvious reasons.
Some will really go to almost any length to try to victimize themselves in some way, just so they can avoid being responsible for the words that come out of their mouth.
There will always be an in-crowd for them to be a part of that women will never be able to be a part of. And I'm not saying it is all down to the term brother, but it is a very small indication of that.
That sounded like it was coming from a place of jealousy. So instead of trying to tear down men for the closeness that many of them have with each other, why doesn't a person try to promote the closeness of women so that a person can feel like they're part of a community that someone obviously so wants to be a part of?
Whenever women come online and complain about the level of attractiveness of the men that they themselves are attracting, I automatically assume it's rage bait. Because there's no way you lack that much self-awareness to think that you are so grand and above and beyond these petty little men that try and speak to you on a daily basis. Most men shoot where they think they're gonna score. Let's start there. So if a man is a 5, he's probably going to shoot for other 5s, 6s, 4s, maybe a 7 if he's feeling lucky. Most 5s are not gonna shoot for 10s unless they feel like shooting for the moon one day. But on a day-to-day, most men are shooting where they think they're gonna score. And yes, he looked at you and said, yeah, that girl's probably on my level. She might say yes to me. And if that offends you, feel free to look in the mirror and change some things. And we have to remember that we are not the ones that set our place in the dating market. We have this idea that we are all 10s out of 10s because I said I'm a 10, so I'm a 10. And that's not up to you. It's actually up to the men. And feel free to ask one to see where you rank, because those ones that are coming online and just asking random men, they are getting comments filled with things that are going to make them very insecure in the future, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So ask a trusted male friend, would you?
I don't know, last time I checked, men don't give a about men's mental health.
It kind of makes you wonder who they checked with.
Also, I don't know why we're dogpiling a woman for not giving a that men are hijacking another month to call it their mental health month.
How can they be hijacking a month that is actually Men's Mental Health Month? It's almost like it's in writing out there somewhere.
Can we please, go outside and interact with real human beings for once? Be for real.
I have a question. So does that mean those that celebrate the fact that it's National PTSD Awareness Month, are they also hijacking another month? Or does that not make any sense either?
The only time I've seen men make think pieces about mental health is when it's in response to women talking about their mental health and their struggles. I don't give a
Let me be brutally honest. I highly doubt that there's a long line of individuals that are going to put a lot of weight in some individuals' actual opinions about that matter.
Have whatever month you have. I don't give a work on it yourself, baby. We've been working on it ourselves all these years. You can do the same thing. You don't need to hold our hands.
How interesting. But despite the negative statements that some individuals make, gentlemen, I would like to remind you that there are quite a lot of men, as well as some good women out there, that really do care about your mental health.
When a man says I'm not ready, women hear uncertainty, but what he's really talking about is risk. Men don't think about readiness emotionally, we think about it structurally. When he says I'm not ready, it usually means one of 3 things. Men feel pressured to show up as providers, protectors, and problem solvers. If his life feels unstable mentally, financially, and directionally, commitment feels like a promise he's afraid he can't keep. So not ready isn't about love, it's about fear of failing. Men commit where they feel safe to mess up. If every disagreement feels like a threat to the relationship, he hesitates. Not ready often means I don't know if I could be human here. This is the hard one. Sometimes not ready means he's still observing. Men don't rush decisions they know will change their life. We watch consistency, not intensity. If a man knows he doesn't want you long term, he usually doesn't say I'm not ready. He slowly creates distance. So when a man is still present, not ready means I'm still deciding. And here's the truth most women deserve to hear. You don't convince a man to be ready. Readiness comes from alignment, not pressure. The right man won't need a deadline to choose you. He'll feel it. If you're forcing readiness, it's already wrong. Peace and love. Like and follow.
So I'm going to do part 5 and then I'm done. I could go on, but I'm going to be done after part 5. So let's get it started. Grown women asking for an Instagram instead of giving out their number. City girls and Sexy Red ruined dating for young black men. Because we're ugly and women told us to stop talking to them. Okay. Y'all just not chasing women. Attitudes. Big one. Attitudes. Too many attitudes. They do not want to chase a bill. Women do not want men approaching them anyway. Approaching a woman is approaching problems. Tired of being rejected. The women do the approaching now, so men don't really have to. Not tall enough. Y'all said y'all don't need a man. Too expensive unless you make $500K. not looking for love anymore, only help. Dating has become openly monetized. And that is the main comment.
This woman has something to say about Hispanic men and black men.
And with that being said, I have never heard or seen a Hispanic man say, I date outside of my race because Hispanic women talk too much and they're spicy and they have attitudes. And guess what? Hispanic women do. Hispanic women act very, 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 very similar to black women. And guess what their men do? They get their ass up at 3, 4 in the morning. They hop out the van and they go work. And guess what? They do not complain about it. What's wrong with y'all?
You know what? This young lady has a point. I don't really hear too many Hispanic men complain about that either. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do. I just don't hear about it. So like I said, she has a good point. But I do have a couple points as well. Number one, show me a bunch of Hispanic women online talking bad about their men. Calling them broke, calling them losers because they don't make 6 figures. Show me those women.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Number two, even though you say these women have the same attitude as black women, but their men will still get up and go out and work and take care of the family. But I notice you seem to leave out a very important point. Those women take care of their home. They cook, they clean, they take care of the kids. And if there's any extended family living there, they'll take care of them too. They don't look at housework like slavery. They look at it as taking care of their family. Now, like you said, they might have an attitude when they're doing it, but guess what? They're doing it. And number three, you don't hear a bunch of Hispanic women coming online talking about how independent they are, how much they don't need men and how men are useless, and then turn around and expect these same men to want to come and provide and take care of them. And before y'all start with the he don't love his mother crap, I am a black man who only wants to be with a black woman. So you can miss me with that. And of course, I am not talking about all black women and I'm not talking about all Hispanic women. Now, I shouldn't have to say that, but I've been online long enough to know I do. So like I said earlier, you're making a good point, but so am I.
Checkmate. Shoot!
And I think CJ did make a good point. I think that's where the argument hinges, is that you will see these same crazy women taking care of the household. And that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of and not that I'm condoning it, but I think a lot of modern women, they could get away with a lot of stuff if they would just take care of their man. Just take care of him. Cook and clean for him. Well, I really don't cook. Well, learn how to cook his favorite dish. That's the least that you can do. And if you're making money and you want to eat out all the time, or you want to eat out most of the time, or I don't really cook and I don't want to eat out all the time, it gets pretty expensive. They have those home meal prep kits or whatever. You can get some of those, right? Or you can go to the store. Now, a lot of stores, what they do is they have these already pre-made things. I mean, if you say my man eats a lot, Sam's Club, Costco, once again, you can get a whole salad. You can get a fruit platter, fruit and cheese, meat and cheese, sandwich platter. And man, you get a sandwich platter, you give him a bag of chips, like 2 or 3 bags, I don't know, water and a Coke if that's what he likes, and then 2 or 3 of those I mean, honestly, truly, you can give him half the platter if you want to. He'd probably have that thing for lunch. If they're out in the sun and stuff like that, they need something to snack on, you can send that whole thing to them because you got the money to. But if you don't have the money to, then you're going to have to rework it and do something different. But at some point in time, you're going to have to take care of your man.
I seen a post that said, now women care about men's mental health. No, we don't. No, we don't. Who said that?
Good women. That's who said that. You know, those that actually care about others other than themselves.
I'll be the bad guy. I'm here to tell you the truth. You're not fighting mental health. You're fighting accountability.
Well, if anyone would know what fighting accountability is like, that would be some women out there. But I wonder exactly what they mean.
You're fighting the things that you did in the past that you don't want to own up to. You're fighting the voices in your head that your mama put there ever since you was a little boy, trying to enable you your whole life. Now you got to face it in the real world.
And this is what we would call victim blaming, saying that all their mental health problems are essentially their own fault.
I'm going to tell you the truth. Stop it. You're faking it.
Oh dear. So they've actually gone from blaming the victim for their own mental health problems to actually denying that those mental health problems for thousands, if not millions of men actually exist. How charming.
Stop it. You're not fighting demons. You're fighting yourself. You're fighting your own consequences. Please.
Unfortunately, as we have just seen, there are a lot of very misguided individuals out there that really don't understand a thing about mental health, and it shows.
You ever notice when a man has a beautiful, gorgeous woman on his arm, suddenly all the other women start paying a lot of attention to him, right? And now he's out there thinking he's turned into some sort of Greek god. And no, she's dating for personality this time. Poor guy's like, everybody's checking me out. I'm so hot. No, sweetie, sit down. They don't want you. I hate to break it to you. They want to compete with her. Because listen, women are natural strategists. When we see a man with a confident, gorgeous woman on his arm, part of us goes like, what's so special about that guy? Is he loaded? Like, why did she choose him? What is he, right? And that's not attraction. It is curiosity mixed with a little competition. Because half the time, when another woman is flirting with a man, knowing that he's full-blown taken, she's not even really into him. She is just testing that woman. She wants to see if she can take what another woman has, just to prove that she simply could, okay? Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. Okay. It's not about love or even attraction at all. It's purely about ego. But the problem is that most of these men, they misread that. And then all of a sudden they think that they're so irresistible that they've unlocked some sort of God mode and they can have whatever woman that they want, right? No, honey, she just wanted to hold the trophy somebody else had for validation. Now, here's where guys fumble. They really start believing the hype. They start chasing the illusion of something bigger and better out there, and they end up losing the real woman that they had, the one who actually made them glow up in the first place. So here's a little reminder for the men. When another woman's flirting with you, knowing that you're in a relationship, they're not chasing you, honey. They are challenging her. And the second that you forget that, you're gonna lose both of them. So yeah, hot, you're super hot. But she's the reason that that woman noticed you in the first place.
They're doing both. They're chasing the guy and they're trying to be in this competition with the woman he's with.
The smugness disappears real quick.
You made a comment earlier, women are better in every way than men. And the question that I would have is, I'm sorry, you said something about...
I didn't say anything close to that. The men versus women thing, I think it's silly. I think these traits, human traits are human traits. Some were nurtured more in this person, some were nurtured. Like my dad being a stay-at-home dad, he was much better mother than my mother was. I am so sorry, Mom, if you see this. But he just was. He was a better mom than she was. And sometimes that's the case. Forget the gender role stuff and these are all human traits. You either are a gentle, nurturing, organized person who wants to take care of a kid or you're not.
I will say not every woman is a mother, right. But I would just say this, find me the society of women that are doing it by themselves.
I would love to see it.
Exactly, it doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it. We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
One of the weirdest and most humbling experiences as a man is realizing that women actually don't give a about you at all. Now, are there women out there who genuinely get into relationships because they genuinely fall in love with you and what you, I was even about to say what you can provide, because that's all they give a about. There are literally like 0.01% of women out there who actually get into a relationship with you for you, who you are as a person. It's all about what being with you says to them about themselves and their value. And that's why so many women fall out of love with their men inside of the relationships or get divorced from their men when they're in marriages. It's because when you get soft, when you get comfortable as a man and you start to open yourself up, you start to let your guard down, you're not being as mysterious, you're telling her everything about yourself. She starts to lose interest in you because now to her, she's seeing you at your worst and not just at your best. And she's like, I can't do it. I don't like what he is now. Right now, I was just at the mall and I saw a dude who was with a woman who was pretty fat. And I saw multiple situations like this, dudes who were with fat women. And in my mind, I'm not judging at all. I'm like, bruh, do what you want to do. But it was interesting to me where I'm like, that man actually loves that woman. Like, even though we all see that she's fat, in his mind, he looks at the person that she used to be and is like, bruh, there's some kind of part of that that's still inside of her. There are so many men out there who are in relationships and marriages with women who were previously skinny and gotten fat because they always gave a about the woman and not who she was on the outside. But let a man go broke, let a man get fat, let a man get comfortable, let a man get soft, she's leaving. It's because she never gave a about who you were as a person. It's who you were portraying yourself to be. It's who you were on the outside. And once you can understand that a relationship is all about a woman's ego, you start to know how to play it, so then you always keep her around.
Mess. Hey, he invited me for a cup of coffee. I know
through other men who are teaching women how to invest in themselves and find a partner who actually wants to go out with them and get to know them, has told me this is very low value. I have to decline this because this person doesn't value me and probably goes out with a bunch of other people for coffee, and I want someone who's making an investment up front and shows me that they care and put some thought into this date.
When it's women that are making TikToks and Instagrams over and over again, disrespecting men, saying they cheated on their boyfriend, man-hating, saying I'm entitled to this and that, who is surprised that men are now given pause and saying, I don't know if I want to shell out cash on date one?
Until you understand that women are literally children, you're not going to do very well with women. If you are taking women seriously and you are engaging with her as if she is your equal, you are going to get, she's going to kill you. You're going to get cooked. This starts from a very young age. They learn that they can do anything and get away with anything because their father is likely castrated and not allowed to discipline her. They don't even learn right from wrong. For example, instead of taking accountability, a woman will cry, argue, turn red, faint, lose her keys, lose her purse, call her ex, call her mother, kick the dog, run away, get a flat tire, go to jail. She will do all of this before she says, you know what, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Because that would be maturity. And women, like I said, are literally children.
Women who want men to share more, to open up. Don't interrupt him. When he pauses, count to 30. Most men will come in at about 18, unless you're asking about feelings. Could be 3 days. Don't ever ask a question that isn't worth waiting for the answer. And women start waiting for the answer. And lo and behold, men start talking, which is amazing. He's opening up. Then they have a new complaint. Well, I listened to him for an hour and a half, and then he didn't listen to me. Men show appreciation by take and use. You know they appreciate the listening because they're talking. They know they appreciate the sandwich because they ate it. Women show appreciation by direct reciprocity. I listened to you for 27 minutes. Now you listen to me for 27 minutes. And women are profoundly aware of this. The men will open up and then they'll complain, but they're not listening to me. Well, that's a whole other thing. Get listened to by a man. He's not going to do it in return. He's not built that way.
Do women create life or do women carry life?
We do both.
I mean, doesn't it take two people?
It does. However, if you have an island with 12 men and 1 woman, you would have a thriving society. However, if you have, 12 women and 1 man, you would only have a limited society and it would not grow on from here on out. For 100 years, you would not have anything.
But don't men create more life since they can get more women pregnant?
No, because if you have 1 man and 12 women, you have a thriving society because women create the life.
I have to say, men are actually listening. They are actually listening. It's just you can't sit and talk all day and have your problem solved. Does that make sense? Only man can have that problem. It's listening. You can't consider everybody so genuine. Does that make sense? At some point in time, it's going to correct you. Okay, well, now just listen to me. Listen to my life. You can't ever. Sometimes you kind of have a little tactics as you kind of just respond. Okay, it seems to feel very right. Those times when you have I can't talk it's just a red Bob. Don't talk to yourself. Shut up. I can't look around and I need to make some coffee. All the things that you don't do, you don't have any initiative. It's all. And it's actually business. That's why
Not surprised to have what? Been single for a very long time? Why does that come as a surprise? I find it very ironic that a lot of women talk about how they love being single, and many women find it to be empowering, except of course, oftentimes when another woman, so it seems, tries to insult another one by insinuating that there's something wrong with being single. Were you aware that there are thousands, if not millions of people who are very happily choosing to remain single? Also, most importantly, being in a relationship doesn't make any person any more valid or better than anyone else, and nor does being single make someone any less valid or worse than anyone else. It is really time for some individuals to give up this sort of antiquated thinking that a person is only a complete person if they're in a relationship. If that's how you feel about yourself, well, then I highly suggest that someone takes a hard look inside and determine why exactly someone would want to think that.
I hate when men ask, oh, so what's the relationship between you and your baby daddy?
I'm not sure how much more this can actually take. Few discretion is advised.
There's not one, but he will crash out if he finds out about you. He don't want to see me with nobody else, and he don't want to marry me. So, therefore, are we going to pursue this or not? I can't help what I got. I did it. It's done. What we going to do?
I did it. It's done. What are we going to do? Who is we? And what do you mean are we going to pursue this? Pursue what? A walking boxing match? A walking possible shootout? What is there to pursue here? If I wanted to get into random shootouts with people I hardly knew, I would join the military. Why would any man ever sign up to go back and forth with your baby daddy? And not only does he have to go back and forth with your baby daddy, he got to deal with you and he got to deal with your child. Jesus Christ. Who's doing the math? Didn't you just say there was no relationship between the two of y'all? Clearly there is. It's toxic as at that. Sweetheart, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, and I mean this in the most loving way. But you're a victim. You don't even have control of your own life. Not only that, you're a victim probably to a bum ass nigga. How do y'all allow this type of stuff to happen in y'all life? You are held captive in your romantic life by a man that doesn't want to marry you, that doesn't want to commit to you, that's honestly just your baby daddy, literally just that. You could literally meet the man of your dreams tomorrow and you could not even have him because that man said no. And if you went against his word, he would crash the out. That's who you procreated with? This is not making any more sense, bro. I really don't get it. It's one thing that you procreated with an ain't shit nigga. That's one part of it. But to have him control your romantic life is something completely different. And then to start the conversation, you just flat out lied to us talking about, oh, there is no relationship between us. Clearly there is. So much so that he's willing to crash the out. You probably still, man, that's probably what's going on. And I could be wrong, but something tells me that y'all still got something going on. You ain't got no business trying to date nobody. Leave everything alone. Figure out whatever it is you need to do with your baby daddy. Leave every single man alone. And for the men out there that might even consider talking to this woman, you bet not dare. You bet not. Unless you're willing to crash out over some cat that's not yours. And if you are willing to do that, you know what, go ahead and do it because we don't need like y'all around anyway. But I know some of you just not gonna listen to nothing I just said because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep it change.
There's one thing that drains a man faster than anything else in a relationship, and most women do it every single day without realizing. It's not about what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, the tone of voice. A lot of women don't realize they've stopped using that soft, warm voice with their man. Everything comes out sharp. Complaining about this, nagging about that, bringing up what he didn't do. And when was the last time you said something genuinely positive? Not sarcastic, not backhanded, just appreciative. Most of the time, it's 90% critical and maybe 10% positive, if that. And then we wonder why he seems distant or checked out. That constant negativity, it's draining. Your man craves your softness, your warmth. He needs to feel like you actually like him.
Oh yes, a little known secret about women and their exit strategy. And this is, I'm laughing, but it's not a good thing. Women who want to leave a relationship, and by the way, it's women who file for the divorce way more often than the men do. Just FYI. In fact, with college-educated women, I believe the statistic is about 93% of the time they file for divorce rather than their husbands. So the structure in a girl's brain when she goes into an exit strategy is that she will be long down that road before the guy has any idea, typically. And that's why it's hardly ever women that come home to a house that's been emptied out and a note on the counter that says, I'm leaving you. That's something men go through.
Average women don't want average guys because they think that they're not average. They think that they're above average. How's that going to translate in the dating marketplace? You have average women that are going to be chasing after either exceptional or above average men. They're going to curve men who are average, who are actually on their level. That's why you get caught up with boys and in situationships and a guy never committing to you or a guy who's cheating on you because you're shooting out of your league. So if you think you're a 10, surely you must deserve a 10. You're going to chase after Chad. You're going to spend your 20s a bunch of dudes. You're never going to like actually get into a proper monogamous relationship. You'd rather have the divided attention of a hyper attractive guy than actually have commitment from like an average dude because you think you're above average. That's the problem in the dating marketplace. And that's why this is a humble check.
Sassy male apocalypse is really funny until we need to find husbands. Only 1 in 3 men under the age of 30 are in a relationship, whereas 2 in 3 women are in a relationship. How is this possible? Women are dating older. If you have 50 men on Tinder and 50 women on Tinder, 46 of the women will give all of their attention to 4 men. On Tinder, a man of average attractiveness has to swipe 200 times to get 1 swipe back for coffee. And if the coffee date happens, 4 out of 5 of those said coffees will ghost him. The men who are rejected at that rate indulge in more misogynistic content online and, pornography. I begin to think about my brothers or my future sons. And the reality, the current situation is men are not doing well. And who wants economically and emotionally viable men the most? Women.
What's crazy to me is that this difference between what young women experience and what young men experience in dating and in relationships today is that it's just skimmed over. It's like, oh, we both have it really bad. And yeah, men have it worse, a little worse. But guys, let's be real. Just based on these statistics alone, men have it way worse than women when it comes to dating. In general, I don't think that people, especially young women, do a good job at putting themselves in young men's shoes. Because what I've seen is that there is a total lack of empathy when it comes to this issue. For example, when the loneliness epidemic was first being talked about in young men, women bashed men. They blamed men for the issue. And then women wonder why they can't find a good husband. Well, it's because when they were younger, in their 20s, and they were going through this, they just decided to stay single and build their empire.
Just imagine being in a household and the person that's in elementary school is the one with the most sense. Few discretions advised.
Grandma don't got grandpa anymore, and you don't got my dad anymore, and then she has kids, and then you have a kid. You have a lot in common.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, could you point me in the direction of the humor? Because little man just dropped a gem that you didn't even know you needed. And instead of taking that seriously, you find humor in it. At his young age, he's noticing how up his family is. And instead of doing something about it, you laugh. This is why your family tree has those quote-unquote generational curses. Matter of fact, it is not a curse. These are active decisions that you and your elders decided to make. And you laughing at the unfortunate circumstances that the young boy just told you about lets me know you don't take serious, and that's exactly why you are in the position that you're in. Y'all prioritize everything except putting those kids in the best position possible to further their development. And that young man at his little age is looking around and noticing a pattern and saying, wait a minute, something ain't adding up here. There should be no reason why y'all are practically in the same exact position. But instead of allowing that to be a wake-up call, you find it humorous. Some of y'all do not deserve to be parents because y'all do not prioritize your kids' development the right way. And you don't think a kid at that age with that line of thinking is a problem because that's what you came from. You actively can look around in your family tree and see that you guys are not progressing properly. And instead of doing something, at least trying to do something, you laugh at the situation that is clearly holding y'all back. And the only mother that notices it's a problem is a young in the room. You can't make this. Wow. Your elders did you a disservice and stunted your growth, so in turn, you think it's only right that you stunt his. The becomes the and I don't think he's going to stand for that. I hope that young man grows up and does wonderful things with his life and breaks free from the generational curses that the people before him put in place. Because there should be no reason why at his young age, this is where his mind is. He should be worried about all kind of other. But you know what? I know you ain't gonna listen to shit I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
And Emily was saying she doesn't think that women, especially young women, do a good job of putting themselves in the shoes of young men. Well, why would they do that? To do that, that would equal pain. That would equal inconvenience. So why would I be doing that? If the world is going to be handed to me on a silver platter, why in the world would I sit up here and I don't want to people in general don't really want to sacrifice. If we can make it acceptable for one gender, only one gender, to have to suffer, society says, no, you leave them alone, they can't suffer. But this gender over here can. And the gender happens to be a male, then who am I to get in the way of that and say, let's take some of the burden off of them and let's put it on our shoulders. Let's take some of the easy work, right? And then when it gets a little bit harder, let's take more of the hard work. You see, what a lot of modern women like to say is men used to go to war. I remember, at least in one of those wars, when men were at war, the women got up and they started doing the jobs that men were doing, working in factories and some of the more dangerous or some of the more traditionally male roles. Essentially, they were doing that. But yeah, y'all just want to do the cute stuff. Y'all just want to do the stuff that's easy, it's not hard, and I can make a little money doing it. I can go get my coffee every single morning. But then I'm going to turn around and tell a man how he's not masculine. And I'm not willing to help either.